What's the matter, Pip? You want me to raise it? You want me to raise that up so you can see the birds? Okay. All right. Yes, you come over here and you say hello to everybody. Won't you tell everybody what you've been doing this summer? Other than catching birds. No. Don't ignore your public. Oh, don't be offended. He does the same thing to his mother when she calls. This is the view she gets. Yes, it is. You will not make eye contact with the camera. Hello. We're gonna see how long this lasts. Pip's just out of camera range, so we'll see if he stays down there. Video today is going to be the tomato garden, and I shot it. You're about to see that I shot it from the beginning, hello, to the end. So I hope that you enjoy it. There's not really that much to see at the end. The way that they are at the end of the video is pretty much the way they are now, because it is the 7th of September. Now, had a little bit of rain, so I got everything chopped off, and I'm going to see what happens during the fall. I'll probably add that into a video later on, and just so you know what the fall tomatoes look like, if we get any. I think we're gonna probably get a few, because we do have a few blooms. I don't know how many we're gonna actually be able to harvest, because we have blossom rot, I believe is what they call it. When we get too much rain and too little sun, they'll put their fruit out, but they'll rot. The tomatoes will just rot right on the vine. So we'll see what happens. So until then, we hope that you enjoy our video, and we'll see you at the end. Okay, so here are the raised beds. We brought it all the way up. This is the end. That's the next bed over. But we brought that stuff all the way up to the very top. And as you can see, it's just old leaves. That's all it is. Here's my that was my pepper tree. It did freeze. We've had 2 nights it's froze, so we went ahead and pulled that up. These are the original beds, so that's why that looks like it's two different levels there. This is the original. This right here is the original bed. And again, that's just tin. It gives it a windbreak, so it serves to be able to attach my frost mat, and then it also gives it a little bit of a windbreak and a little bit of a sun break too. That's the raised beds, and in the spring I will bring you what we're going to do with them. And fast forward, here they are now. So they're doing very well. I'm extremely pleased. This bed right here is almost 100% voluntary tomato plants. So they are tomato plants that grew from soil that I had previously. So I just transplanted them right in here. This is going to be the next bed over from the one previous. These are bought tomatoes. So in other words, these are tomato plants that have come from the garden center here by our house. So we're going to see which bed does the best. The tomatoes that are bought are the tomatoes that were voluntary. And as you can see, the ones that are voluntary are a little bit bigger. So they're winning so far. These are my baby tomatoes that I had just put a pot of marigolds out, and all of these popped up with my marigolds. That's how I figured out that I have tomato seeds that is mixed in with my compost. And now everything that I plant using that compost, I get baby tomato plants. Not quite sure what I'm going to do about that yet. This is what happens when you put compost in leaves in your raised beds. You just use those as fertilizer. You get tomato trees. And to think, in the beginning of this year, I cried a little tear because I had to cut a few of the lower branches off. I don't know, guys, what do y'all think? I don't think I needed to worry about that. This whole bed right here, this is voluntary tomatoes. And what happened was I was using my compost dirt to put in to transplant flowers and just so forth, just everything you do around your yard during the spring. And I kept getting these things popping up. I thought, what world? If I had looked at it real close, I would have known exactly what it was. But they are a little bit different. The leaves are a little bit different. Yeah, I would love to tell y'all exactly what kind of tomatoes these are. I don't know. I mean, you tell me. I planted 3 or 4 from the nursery. You find where my little tabs are, and you can tell me where or what my tomatoes are. So these are store-bought. Primarily, these are store-bought. These are voluntary. Now, when I say voluntary, I had some little plants that survived in the greenhouse from last year, just from tomatoes that I had thrown away, and I put them in a pot and watered them ever so often and thought, let's see what happens. There's my moss rose. And they grew, so I just put them out here and I plopped them in the ground, and I thought if they grow, they grow. If they don't, I'm gonna go get some tomatoes from the nursery anyway. Well, they grew. And these were popping up. Had no idea what they were until I got down and really started surveying and realized, by George, I've got voluntary tomato plants growing in all of my flower pots. So I plucked them all up again, plopped them in the ground. If they grow, they grow. If they don't, they don't. They're gonna. They are. And what is fabulous is, you can see in here, maybe right there, they're completely different tomatoes than those. So we're gonna have some big, some little, and some little salad. So there you have it. If you didn't believe me when I said just throw your leaves into something where they will break down, put them in your raised beds, put your vegetables in there, and you're going to be shocked. I'm shocked. I gotta say, been doing it for years, and again, I'm shocked. I've had this big of plants before. I've never had this many tomatoes on such big plants, so can't wait to bring in the next video and probably share tomatoes. Okay, it's the 4th of September, and you can see that our tomato plants have had a little bit of a change. We do have some new growth on some of this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out as much of this dead part as I possibly can, and if I have any of the stems that are left that do not have any foliage on them whatsoever, I'm going to cut a great deal of those off just to try to give as much energy as possible to these that have new foliage on them. So we'll see what what that brings us for the fall. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I appreciate you watching it. I hope you will subscribe. I really hope you'll subscribe, but I hope that you will share this video with at least one person. And like I've said before, I'm going to say it again, this is going to kind of be an all kind of YouTube video channel. You may see garden one day, you may see care of a cat the next day, you may see or hear odd sayings like get in the boat and row, or we've all got our row to hoe. So I hope that you don't get bored. I'm going to really try to mix it up so that you don't get burnt out or bored, because I know that there are a lot of channels that I tend to stop watching because it just seems like it's the same thing over and over, and it just gets a little too repetitive. So let me know if I do that. But hopefully I don't come off as sporadic too much, because it is going to be sporadic. And I do have some bloopers, one of which is me taking you on a golf cart ride and then seeing a snake. Yeah, there's a little bit of language in that one, so I'm trying to figure out how I can slip it in, because I forget how to work the golf cart. I get a little panicky, and I think some of y'all will appreciate the fact that I'm just riding around talking one minute, and then I see a snake, and then all of a sudden I can't remember how to put it in reverse or forward or where the gas is. I just darn near jumped out of the golf cart and ran back to the house. So thanks for watching. I appreciate every one of you, and we'll catch you on the next video.